What if your skincare did more than make you glow? What if it helped you heal? Welcome back to the Herfador Lounge, where the smoke may clear, but the conversation's always linger. Today's guest is the perfect blend of science, soul, and self-care. She took her background in science, her family's roots in organic farming, and a passion for healing, and transformed them into a brand that's changing the way we think about skincare. I'm talking about Miss Octavia Phillips, founder and force behind Touch of O'Shea Natural Skincare. From soothing eczema to celebrating melanin-rich skin, her products aren't just about beauty, they're about restoration, resilience, and reclaiming our rituals of self-care. But behind every butter, every balm, it's a deeper story. One of purpose, one of community, one of a woman who decided the world needed more than just another skincare line. It needed healing in its truest form. So lean in. This is one conversation you're going to feel long after the last word. So let's get into it.
Yo, that intro was fantastic.
Yeah, sometimes I try.
I'm just saying, I was like, wait, is he talking about me? Yikes. I was over here feeling like the revival pastor.
Yeah, I'm talking about you. That's
Introduce to some and come on now, introduce to some and present to others. Come on now. That's what I'm talking about.
Phillips.
Yes. Thank you, brother.
Oh, thank you for accepting my invitation. Thank you for that. I've been trying to get you on the show for quite a while. I did go through a time of where I wasn't doing shows, but I thank you for accepting the invitation.
Absolutely. Thank you for the invite. You know what I'm saying? Anytime we all have life going on our sides of the screen. So, it's things happen how they happen. So I appreciate the time and space. It's all good.
Well, I appreciate you. So I want to start with the spark, right? So what was the moment or experience that led to the birth of Touch of O'Shea?
Wow.
See, that's the reaction I want.
Oh, Lord.
See?
Woo-wee. I believe it was the summer of 92. No, I'm just playing. No.
I like somebody, grandma.
You know what I'm saying? Let me tell y'all what really happened. No. So man, that's heavy. Originally, my goal, this was never the original goal. So the original goal was to be a physician. And that was the life's journey. That was the trajectory that brought me to Philadelphia. I was accepted into a dual degree program where you do a master's first and then you complete your MD. And abridged version, I finished the master's portion. I did not complete the MD portion. And life kind of hit rock bottom. I fell on depression, homelessness. I'm talking about next to losing my father. This was the worst experience timing of my entire life. Wow. And so I was, at that point, my mom was like, just come home. You tried and and you gave it your best and it didn't work. And I was like, absolutely not. Like, there's no way that I am going to tuck my tail and let someone beat my ass and send me home running. Now,
exactly.
No, I got more stock than that. And so, Philadelphia is one of these cities where, because I'm country. I'm a country girl. I grew up on a farm. And, Philadelphia is the pure polar opposite of like the environment that I was raised in. And so, but still not a bad thing. It's just different, And so I was like, no, I can't just run from this failure. I gotta see this thing through. I gotta pray. Obviously, there's something else. And so, and also it was shame. Like I couldn't go back home that quick with nothing. And so I was living sofa to sofa. And the first time that I saw like the vision that I was going to do this, I was sleeping on somebody's sofa and you know what I'm saying? And I had this dream and I saw myself as a business owner and I was like, I must be tripping. There's no way. Like, not right here. I woke up and looked around like,
Right. I'm
business
still on the
owner.
sofa, right?
Business owner? Is that what you gonna be now? Wow. You just wake up with anything that come across your mind, don't you? And so and so I was like, Lord, please. Now I know I'm going through it, but don't let me lose my mind. Like, please, I don't know what's
Right,
going on, but please get me back to square one. And
right, right.
so I ended up getting a job. That job eventually got me out of homelessness by the grace of God. And
Yeah.
so what ended up happening was some of the people that worked on that job, I saw so many issues. And I
Mm.
just remember because in my research for my master's, I did a lot of work in pulmonology. I saw a lot of cases of people having asthma and eczema, asthma and eczema. It's like, and I was just raised that if you can do whatever you can do, just do it. You ain't got to talk, do a whole lot of talking. If you see that there's a problem, fix it. And
Right.
so when I saw people at my job, I was like, great day. You burned your hand real bad. What you putting on that? And so it just turned into, I can make you something. I can make you something. Then there were people on my job who had family members who were fighting cancer, and they were battling radiation dermatitis and
Wow.
losing their hair. When Black women were losing their hair, and mothers were coming to me like, do you think you can make something to help my daughter? You know what I'm saying? My grandchild is going through cancer rehab. And I was like, now that, you dealing with people who are vulnerable now. I was like, but yeah, absolutely. And it just, one thing turned into them saying like, you really got to sell these products. Like, you just keep on doing this for people around the office. Like, people were coming to my desk like, you the person that make that stuff, ain't it? I was like, wait a minute now. Y'all can't just be coming over to my desk. I still got to work in here. You
Saying
know what I'm
that
saying?
you make that
Right.
stuff.
Ain't that you? I was like, no, no, it's not me. That's
I ain't
not
making no stuff.
around the corner. You got to go around the corner. I'll meet you in the break room. Like, don't come to me. Somebody gonna find me out in here. So that turned into me. Now here we are. You know what I'm saying? 8 years later, here we are. But that's like the that's the background story right there. Like,
That's a story for you.
solving problems, fix it, filling a need, filling a void. You know what I'm saying?
That's a
That's a
story for you. That's an
man,
amazing story. Especially to get the dream while you're homeless, because that's the way God works.
bruh,
Sometimes you be in
bruh.
and He got to break you in order to get you where He needs you to be.
I'm
You
not even gonna front. That was a time. That was a. I was like, really? Because that was never the goal. Was always, I know I'm going to be a physician. I
Mhm.
know I'm going to be a physician. Like, that was elementary. Like, from as long as I could remember, I was listening to people's hearts and checking people's ears and doing all the things. And so it was like, you gonna run a business? No, that's not what you're
Nah,
gonna do.
that's not what I see for myself. But hey, you here.
Nevertheless, here we are. You know what I'm
Here we
saying?
are.
Yeah.
We'll get back to the interview in just a second. I just want to take a quick moment to tell you about the HerfadorLounge.com, the official home of everything we're building here at the Herfador Lounge. Whether you're a cigar lover or an entrepreneur on the rise or someone who just vibes with real unfiltered conversation, this is where community meets culture. So head over to the HerfadorLounge.com and grab some exclusive merch like this Is Therapy shirt that I'm wearing right now. It's the best way to support the channel. Don't just watch the movement, become part of it. That's the HerfadorLounge.com, where the smoke is rich and the conversation runs deep. So what was that moment that inspired you to actually go 100% full speed with it?
I'm gonna be honest. It was being here in Philly. Like, just, it wasn't one specific time. It was more like the tone. One thing that I love about being in this city, especially bringing my heart, you know what I'm saying? Like, where I grew up, how I grew up, I watched everybody around me always, how country folk are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When we get together, especially when you grew up in the 80s, I ain't talking about now.
Right.
I'm not talking I'm not talking the boots on the ground youth. I'm talking about us in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? Like the way that we grew up, it was just anybody who needed something in that communal environment. It's nothing. Everybody just
Yeah.
pitches in. You see people that are going through. If
You
somebody
help them
loses
out.
their loved one, everybody's coming to the house with food.
Yep. You ain't got to cook for at least a month.
At least a month. You have enough fried chicken
Oh,
and
fried chicken
potato
and
salad
macaronis and potato
and
salad for at least a month.
sweet tea jugs. You ain't got enough room in your refrigerator for that
Right.
sweet tea, them sweet tea
Right.
jugs. You know what I'm saying? Like if your car need to be fixed, it's always a handyman. Like there's always everything that you need. That communal environment of the South is very much, that's just, how we do. But Philly is not like that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a place where, so what you gonna do? What are you going to do to fix the situation you in? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like you can cry about it. Yeah, you may have to cry about it, but you're going to have to fix this. Ain't nobody about to help you. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And so it became one of those things where it's like, I'm not going to just to do all of this work and get a trademark and get an LLC and not see it
Through.
become something
Right.
more. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? You're
Yeah.
around people who are like, well, why don't you do this? And why don't you do that? And why don't you do this? And why don't you do that? So it's like it becomes go and do more, go and do more, go and do more. Like one of my homegirls, we joke all the time because I'm like, yo, every time you give me an idea to do something, I'm such a follower. I'm out here really I'm trying to, you done made me come up with 15 different cents. Don't ask me to make nothing else because you're worse. You get on my nerves because I'm a follower. And when
Cause
you
you gonna
tell me
do
to do something, right, because you from North Philly, don't think you going to keep punking me. Got me out here mixing all night long. Stop giving me ideas. You know what I'm
mixing and
saying?
formulating.
Come on now. And so, but at the same time, it's like I came to that realization of my goal. God spoke to me essentially and was like, yo, so your goal was always to help people. Being a doctor was a way to help people, but this is also a way. And
Yeah.
now, was your goal just to be a doctor or was your goal to help people? Because if your goal was to help people, you can take this avenue and do a lot of work to help people.
Yeah.
And so I realized like, I got to put this care in some kind, you know what I'm saying? I've got to figure out a way to create a way to like, and create a way to help people as much as I possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, if this is if it started out with Moyle, it started out with O'Shea Moyle, and then it turned into Mutter, and then the hair oil came about, and it just all came from meeting needs. You know what I'm saying? Like people, I was helping people who had cancer who was like, look at how my hair is growing back. Widows who lost their hair during grief were
Wow.
coming to me like, you see where my hair is starting to grow back in the middle of my crown? I haven't grown hair in the crown of my head in 10 years. And I
Wow.
started using that hair oil that you gave me. And now look at them little, you can see just the little spikes coming. It's coming back. And I was like, it is. And all praise, all glory to God. I'm like,
Definitely.
so yeah,
Definitely.
I gotta keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
gotta keep going. And so
You got
that's
to.
how, just one thing after the next, and the environment that I'm in being one of, you got to go get it. You got to go get it. You got to keep
Mm-hmm.
going to get it. You got to keep going to get it. That hunger. Nobody's going to help you. We will buy your products if they're good. Philly, if you can sell in Philly,
You can sell
because they
anywhere.
water to every well in Texas. You can sell water to every well in Texas if you can sell up here. Because the Philly, especially North Philly, they will tell you in a heartbeat, nah, sis, that ain't it. Nah, we not rocking
Wow.
with that. You know what I'm saying? Like that, but you need that. Like if it's good, they're gonna be like, hey yo, y'all should rock with this. This is a really good product. But if it's not, because I go through testing phases. With
Mm-hmm.
science, I go through testing phases. And so if I'm testing something and I'm like, what y'all think about this? Nah. what was the first one you bought around here? And I'm like, oh, that was, they're like, yeah, stick with that. This one right here, that's a no. So I'm like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need that. You
Yeah,
need
yeah,
that Southern, it's going to be all right, baby. That works. But you also need to be able to understand that, nah, it's a no. And it's like, okay, got you. You know what I'm saying? No,
exactly. Yeah.
don't take offense to it. Learn from it, be better, do better. You know what I'm saying? And so that environment about Philly, I love so, so much. So yeah, it's just the environment that I'm in really demanded more of me.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of led to where we are.
Because that's love, to be able to be that honest and to tell you that ain't it.
Right,
So
right.
that means
Because a lot of
they
times,
know that you can do it.
exactly. And because a lot of times, you know how we do, we'll coddle like, it's okay, it's
You know,
okay.
yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I
Like,
like it.
but when they turn around, you be like, where'd she get that from? Because I don't know that. But when you can honestly tell that person, like, hey, yo, I don't think you gave your best to that, or maybe you need to do blah blah blah, or that
Mm-hmm.
I've given sense to sisters, and they'd be like, no, no, I'm not. No, no, you need. You know what I'm saying? So yes, you absolutely need that. Don't string me along. Tell me straight up.
Yeah, yeah. Just let me
Uh-uh.
know.
Right. Now, don't be too disrespectful, but constructive. Be constructive.
That's the key word.
Be
Constructive.
constructive. Right. And then we
Constructive.
can, right. But yeah, so that's, I'm telling you, I love that aspect of Philly, that no nonsense. It is what it is.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, I think every business, product based business, should be, or any business should have that type of a foundation of people
absolutely.
that'll definitely be honest with you. One
Definitely.
of the things I want to talk about, Touch of O'Shea. It's a very unique name.
Is
We all
it?
know shea butter. We know
Yep.
shea butter.
Right.
The O.
Hmm.
What's the origins of the name O'Shea?
So the O'Shea is from me being the owner and my name being Octavia, and the primary ingredient that I use being shea butter. I'm not even going to front. It's that simple. It was, I wanted from the beginning. One of the things that I had to learn was, you only know what you know. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? As simple as that sounds, like, we can try to, like, I know that I'm a scientist. I know that I can formulate and do these things, but I had to learn that, like, graphics is not my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, trying to come up with unique designs and trying to come up with that's not my area of expertise. And so it
Right.
took me a few years, but that's when you have to realize, like, yo, I got to hire people, or I got to work with other people to make my brand look and be better, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so from the beginning, when I was thinking of the name, I didn't have my creative sense was not where you think it. Like, the name might be unique, but at the time I was like, everything I make is with shea butter, and my name is Octavia, and I'm just gonna put a. That's why it's a capital S. There's a capital O and a capital S. A lot of times when you see O'Shea written, you'll see it's a capital O and it's a capital S. That is kind of unique. That has a lot to do with looking at the periodic table. A lot of times on with the periodic table elements, it's a capital letter and it's a lowercase letter. And so, but I wanted to design like the O and S. At first, I was going to design it to look like a periodic table
Uh-huh.
element.
Uh-huh.
And so it was going to be an O and S, and I was going to create like a periodic table structure. And that's why I still kept that capital O and the capital S, and then HEA is lowercase.
Mm-hmm.
So, but a friend of mine was like, "Girl, don't nobody know all that periodic table stuff? Nobody's gonna." Because I was like, "I'm gonna put this on the cover, like I'm gonna put this little periodic table," and she was like, "Yo, we don't know none of that. You know that stuff. We don't know none of that." And nobody's going to look at that and be like, "Oh, look, it's a periodic table." She
Right.
was like, "We don't know none of that, girl. Get that out of here." I'm not even going to front. So I was like, okay, all right, watch how you talk to me. But okay, like, watch.
I'm
I'm
gonna do it,
laughing.
but I'm gonna do
I'm
it. But watch.
laughing with you, but yeah, don't kiki
Yeah,
my ass. You know what I'm saying? Watch how you address it. But okay, thank you for that. You know what I'm saying? So listen, it
right,
is what it is.
right.
So
Hey,
so come on now. You know what I'm saying? Don't go too far with it.
there's a line. There's a line. There's a line.
And it's not
You can get at the
thin.
line, and you can might could put a toe on the line, but don't
But
cross that
now
line.
after the toe,
It's
it's
yeah,
up. It's
right,
any man's game. So now
exactly.
let's so but you know what I'm saying? So like certain elements are kind of, like the scientific aspect. I try to keep that, I try to keep a relevance to that. But yeah, when I was coming up with the name, it wasn't like the touch of just came about from all you need is a touch of O'Shea,
Mm,
right? That's where that first mindset was, because people would always tell me like, a little goes a long way. You don't have to, the products are concentrated, a little goes a long way. So I was like, just a touch of O'Shea,
yeah.
Octavia's shea butter, and then it just turned into O'Shea.
Hmm. I like that.
I
I like
mean,
that. I was thinking it was a lot deeper than my name and shape.
and I promise you, you're not the first person that asked me. And when you hear the story, every time it's gonna be the same. My name and the word shea and shea butter. Every time, yo. The last time
Hey,
somebody asked me that, I think they were expecting a deeper answer, and they were like, "Oh, okay." And I was like, "Yep, it's now." There's some deep elements to the brand, but the naming in the beginning, I was so like I didn't because I was not in the mindset of this is really going to become a way of life for me. It was a hobby mindset.
hmm.
It was a hobby mindset, and so I wasn't thinking like, how do I come up with the? I was more like, I gotta get some little labels made. Let me just, what am I gonna name this stuff? I
Yeah,
don't, I don't know what I'm gonna name this stuff.
but
And it
but the
just,
name flows.
but
The
then
name
it's,
flows.
see,
Touch of O'Shea. The name
sometimes
flows
you can't
perfect.
overthink it. See, if I had, see, you just gotta go.
Simplicity. Simplicity is best.
It's best. There we go.
Simplicity is best. So a lot of your products are rooted. Well, a lot of your products are natural skincare products.
Mhm.
So what does natural mean to you in the beauty and skincare space when it is highly overused on a lot of
Mm,
things?
Lord, don't go there.
I've seen things in the stores. It says natural on the front. You flip it around and you can't pronounce nothing
And now some of
but
those
water.
names,
But
oh,
water.
okay, okay. Now some of those 25 letter words are natural. That's you know what I'm saying. That's the organic, the scientific name for things. But you also see the word natural definitely used for products in many cases. And when you look at the ingredients, it's like I'd be looking like now that's not. But anyway, I don't want to digress. So for me, natural number one means from the earth. It has to have an earthly source,
Mm,
right? So it is not something that somebody created in a laboratory, right? That's the simple answer to it being natural for me. But also understanding from an organic chemistry perspective, even the term organic gets
yeah.
overused and gets used incorrectly. But that organic component means that it is a carbon based element. It's a carbon based, meaning it has a natural foundation, right? And so
Hmm.
all of those things contribute to why those are some of the requirements that it has to be for it to be an ingredient in an O'Shea product. It doesn't always have to be carbon based because water is not. Water is not a carbon based element, it's H2O, right? But at the same time, it is a natural occurring element, right?
Right.
And so I do like to make sure every ingredient has to have an earthly or a water, it has to either be water or it has an earthly plant based source from which it came, a seed, a leaf, a root, some type of earthly background to the component. Those are what make it natural for me, right? People ask me sometimes, because in the beginning you get ideas. Everybody, like, as soon as you sell somebody something, they're like, so do you make, or do you do, right? They give you all of these ideas. And
Right,
so
right.
a lot of people started out asking me, like, why don't you, because first of all, the OGs, first of all, now at first men didn't, because brothers ain't always rocking with a skincare routine.
Right, right.
So yeah, so in the beginning, you ask a man, especially in Philly, like, do you use moisturizer? Like, hell no. Well, first of all, use no moisturizer. Where we at? Stop asking me soft questions like that, girl. Ask me, do I moisturize? Do I look moist to you? That's not the key word to take from that, sir. That's not why I'm asking
That's
you.
not at all what that means. Okay,
That's not
okay.
at all what that means. But so, you know what I'm saying? But from the beginning, like when I would ask people, like, like, do you have a skincare routine? What types of products do you use? A lot of people use the big brand stuff that's on the shelf, right? And so, but some people do use like other moisturizer, shea butter based products, and they use the ones that are different colors. You see sometimes on those videos, you see people who make moisturizers, and the swirls are all these different colors, pinks and yellows, and they've added like certain elements. In some cases, there's elements that you can add that are colorants, you know what I'm saying? And they're considered to be somewhat safe. Now you can get some of those elements naturally. You can get some of those. It's called mica, is in most cases what's used to add as like a coloring agent in moisturizers. Now you can get it naturally, but the process, there's all kinds of like human rights violations cases and stuff with the extraction of mica naturally,
Oh,
right?
wow.
So even in some cases, even if it is a natural source, I don't want, that's not all that's required, right? Because
Right.
there are some natural, because people ask me all the time in the beginning, like, why don't you all your shea butters are the same color except for like the Mo butter is green, but they're all what, you don't want to make them, you don't want to jazz them up and make them all these different colors. And I'm like, no, because I want to make sure everything is natural, but also gives a positive vibe. I want you to feel good when you use my products. So I
Right.
don't want you applying something and the hands that had to harvest the ingredients went through hell. I don't want that.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I don't want to
Yeah.
add to that. And I don't want that negativity infused into what I'm doing. So even if it is a natural element, I still want to make sure that it has a good background. I make sure
Right.
that my shea butter distributor is Black owned, and they have a cooperative directly in Ghana, directly in Benin, and we are able to, the people who buy shea butter, we're able to see like the women who are the producers in Ghana and in Benin. So it
Wow.
feels good to be able to use products that I see, where I see the happiness. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I like to know that every aspect of what I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? I ain't Frank Lucas now. I'm not going into the jungle. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to over, but at the same time, I want to make sure as much as I can.
Right,
Okay.
right,
I'm
right,
not,
right.
he
Send
said,
me
you want to
pictures.
go in the jungle? Right. Send me
Send
a
me
video.
pictures.
If we can get on a Zoom, but
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I'm saying? But I do like to make sure that there's a positivity, that it's coming from a good positive source, and it's a natural product. Those are some of the aspects that make it all natural for me to use it.
I love that. I love that. To make that way, you feel good selling it. You feel good buying it. You
Right.
feel good using it. It's just all
Yeah.
around positive.
Yeah.
That's
You know what
that's
I'm
just
saying?
great. Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. So, as a woman of color, a scientist and a woman of color, how have your personal experiences influenced the development of products tailored for melanin-rich skin tones?
Wow.
You like the way I
Mm.
read that question, like the
Man,
Jeopardy host?
that was, I'm not gonna lie, Ray. Got a future. I'm telling you, boy, you out
It's a
here.
long question. I
It
had to read
was,
it. I had to
it
read
was, it has a 60 minutes interview type feel to it. It did feel like, I was like,
it.
in my mind, I was like, oh, okay, we're getting to the nuts and bolts now. Okay. So read that. So you said, how has my experience as a woman of color impacted? Tell me
How has
again.
it influenced the development of products tailored for melanin-rich skin tones?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna tell you. That's man. These questions are good, Ray. I'm gonna tell you.
See, that's why I
They're
didn't
thought
tell you at
provoking.
first. That's the
I
point.
ain't lying.
That's
You
the
you
point.
yeah. You tripping up. You tripping me up a little bit here.
See how you looking off to the left and the right?
I am
You trying to
looking
think.
to Jesus to help me. I'm looking
Go on,
around.
come on, Jesus. Go on and give her the answer so she can let us all know. Let us all know.
No, but I'm trying to
Join us, Lord.
because okay, won't you come? Is there
Is
one?
there one?
Is there one?
The
Okay,
doors of the Herfador are open.
come on now. Don't leave here without a relationship with the Herfador. Okay,
Yes, do not. Subscribe.
I can't subscribe, y'all. I can't.
Pass the subscription plate around. Pass the subscription plate
Okay,
around.
pass it
Put your
down.
subscribes in the plate, please.
Pass it down.
No change.
The kind that folds, not no, we don't want to hear. That basket better be silent. That basket better not hear. No, Santa Claus better not be in that basket. My grandma said that one
Hershey's
time
passed the
in church.
bucket around that time.
My
Pass the
grandma
basket.
one time was like, Santa must be in that basket because it ain't number jingles. I was like, I can't. Oh God. Anyway, let me stay on task. Let me stay on task. How
Oh
has
man.
my
I'm sweating.
background? Okay, let me tell you.
Oh.
Let me tell you. I wanted to make sure. Now, I do not say that the products are strictly for Black people or melanin rich people. I don't, because I have the tattoo care, right? And the tattoo care is probably the has the most diverse buyer base. The tattoo care does, right? But excuse me, my experiences, first of all, growing up in the rural South, I've seen, you know what I'm saying, racism. I've had some moments in my own childhood, right? And so we've all seen, if you grew up in the rural South, you've seen it as a Black person, you've experienced it. And
Yes.
so I've seen racism in medicine.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen it from the perspective of the patient side. I've also seen it from learning and education at the med school, right? My graduate program was directly at a medical school. I was in a hospital setting every day. You hear the types of things that students say, you hear the types of things that physicians say. You read the history, you know what I'm saying? There's plenty of history of things that have happened to Black people in medicine. There's too many examples, right?
Right,
And
right.
so understanding these things and also being Black, it helps me to see better what our people need, right?
Mm-hmm.
You are better able to speak to people having eczema when you've done research that has shown that a lot of time people who have asthma also have eczema. The general public may not put those two together, but me having a background in science, I can, when a mother tells me like, my son's eczema is it's just chronic. It's like it'll go away and it'll come and it'll go away and it'll come, and then I'm like, does your child have asthma? And they're like, oh my gosh, yes. See, so
Hmm.
now I'm better able to help you because now I can tell you, yes, use these products, but also make sure that that the air is clean. Make sure that all of these things, making sure the child's not around people who smoke, and all these things are not only going to help the child be better, but it's going to help with their eczema, right?
Right.
So having the knowledge base and wanting to share it with my community, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wanting that background of me wanting to be a doctor forces me to say, hey, listen, you guys may not know this, But having been in medicine, right,
Right.
knowing that everybody, I talked about this at the Black Tattoo Experience. Everybody's heard of what happened in Tuskegee, right? And
Hmm.
it was terrible what happened when our Black people, Black Americans, were experimented on in the Tuskegee experiments. In Philadelphia, the history of Black people in this city is so rich, it's unbelievable. And here in
Yeah.
Philadelphia, there was an experiment done in that. Tuskegee's experiments were surrounding syphilis. But there were dermatological experiments done on Black people in this city, right?
Wow.
Like at one of the prisons. It's been closed. I believe it's been closed now, but there's a prison up here. I believe it was called Holman Prison, and there
Mm.
was a physician from UPenn who did experiments in dermatology on Black men at this particular prison. Over 300 Black men were used
Wow.
in these medical experiments all around dermatology for like 25, little more than 25 years. These men were
I
used
didn't
in
know that.
experiments. Right? See, this is what I'm telling you. You learn so many things because you have to take certain courses on ethics and history of medicine, medical
Hmm.
practices, right? And a lot of it is very uncomfortable as a Black student to have to learn, right? And so
Right.
when I found out about these experiments that were done on these brothers up here, I was like, my God. And then when you read more into it, it's like in some cases they would put tape, like the tic-tac-toe tape, on these men's back. They would just put these tapes to just create all these different boxes. And they would
Uh-huh.
test a different chemical or a different substance in every box on these men's
Wow.
backs. Agent Orange. Okay, we're talking about deadly viruses, Ebola. Some of the things that they tested on these men, they absolutely knew had no positive impact. But you need to test to see how these chemicals impact the skin, and you refuse to test on somebody who looks like you,
Right.
right? And so when you are included in medical experiments, in many cases, if you're incarcerated, you don't get the same protections in medical experimentation as you do if you're a citizen, right? And
Yeah.
so things are able to happen in prisons that we don't see, you know what I'm saying? And so some of these men are still alive that were participated in these experiments here in Philly. And so all of these things, I don't want to ramble on about that, but it's like all of these things contribute to the passion that I have for making sure, like, yo, we don't even know how bad things have been behind the scenes to
Right.
impact just our skincare. People don't You don't think that anybody's trying to harm you in your lotion, right? You
Right.
don't want to think that. Like, my God,
Right.
it's enough to worry about in society,
Yeah.
right? And so, but there are so many chemicals and agents and many cases that are added into products sometimes that can have long-term effects. We're seeing so many Black women have gotten fibroids and cysts from hair care products,
Wow.
right? From using deodorants with aluminum in them. We know that, like, the fourth quadrant, that underarm section of the breast is the most popular region for breast cancer, right?
Deodorant.
So that drives me to say I lost my grandmother to metastatic breast cancer. That's
Wow.
why the deodorant is named Marion. It's named after my grandmother who had metastatic breast cancer. So knowing the passion kind of comes from that passion that I had to be a physician, because I wanted to change the game.
Yeah.
And so if I can't change the game that way, I'm going to have to change the game through these products, because I have seen it, and I've been around physicians, and I've heard it, I've learned it. And so knowing so much of the background, understanding the human body a little bit more than the average person, and seeing so much has really opened my eyes, like, yo, we don't even understand how some of these products, how dangerous it can be to put all these edge controls on your hair every day. You got to pull your edges down as crisp as you can. Why, Lord? Stop it. You know what I'm saying? Stop
I,
it.
I don't
You
know when
are
that started. All around here, down right around the eyebrow.
you are pulling and you're putting all of these extra harsh chemicals because a lot of the ingredients have impacts on
Mhm.
the body. And so especially for Black women, because there is no regulation by the FDA in the hair care industry. That's why
Wow.
perms can have all of these chemicals in them. There's no regulation, primarily because a lot of those products are sold to us, if we're honest. And
Yeah.
so it's just the knowledge and then seeing and wanting the best for us, right? Wanting the best for everybody, but understanding what has happened over time and how our communities have been impacted. I'm like, yeah, I gotta, whatever I can, as much of the knowledge without sounding like a nerd all the time and without always being like, you probably shouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be me, y'all. It ain't gonna be me. I ain't
Well,
gonna do y'all like that. Okay. Oh Lord, here she come. Here she come. Here she come. Somebody, here she comes. She get ready to tell us something. Go ahead and tell us something that's
what
wrong with
product
us.
you getting ready to ruin now?
I see your edges are pretty full. I ain't gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? So, but at the same time, see, you have a perm. If I could talk to you about that, if we could speak
The
over in the
year
corner.
was
Oh,
1972.
okay. Because I believe it was a sunny day. I believe. Yeah. 89 to be exact. Yeah. So I ain't
the,
gonna
the
be that
spring of
person.
'89.
I had gotten some
You
ice
always gotta
cream.
put a season on it.
Come on now. It was cold. I remember the rustling wind of fall. You know what I'm saying? How ashy were you when you created your first product? I remember the ash. Oh, the ash of 85. No,
The gray
I'm not
ash
gonna be.
of '85.
I'm not gonna be that person to always be in everybody's faces telling them. But at the same time, I'm just going to create a line and say, listen, if you want better and you can afford to do better, here you go. Right?
Right.
It
Right.
is what it is. So that's the inspiration is that's where it's from. You know what I'm saying? And understanding what we go through and wanting us to see ourselves better. Right? We
Mhm.
as a Black woman, I used to perm. I permed so much. This me being natural and embracing my natural hair, all of that took years. That was part of my recovery from being homeless, right?
Yeah.
I was still permanent when I moved to Philly, but the Black people up here were like, sis, why you keep putting brothers? Shout out to the brothers. Because I went out with this brother one time and he was like, why do you put all of that stuff in your hair? He was like, you don't need all of that like perming and when I come over here, you frying your hair, flat ironing it. Like, why do you always like the blackness in Philadelphia is very proud. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And especially with the Muslim influence in this city being very strong. There's a very strong emphasis on being proud of who God made you and being natural. And so
Yeah.
a lot of that helped influence me. When I came out of homelessness, and chopped off about 16 inches of my permed hair. I was out here looking like somebody had scared me. I
Frederick
looked like
Douglass.
some, oh, okay. I looked like somebody had ran behind me. And like everywhere I went, I ran. That's how I looked. I looked like everywhere I went, I ran on
He
foot.
was in a wind tunnel. Like he was always in a wind tunnel.
Always. And like a hurricane was blowing around me
Just you.
24/7.
Just you.
I remember I went home and one of my uncles was like, "You look like somebody scare you every time you go somewhere. You look scared. What happened to your hair? Why you cut all your hair?"
He said
You
every
look like
time you go
somebody.
somewhere.
You look like you scared everywhere you go. Do something with that. Now you don't cut all your hair off. Now do something with it. I was like, I'm
Okay.
going through something you don't know nothing about. I'm going through something. Black folks, I can't stand y'all.
Ain't nobody care
I
about you going through nothing. They say your hair look a
don't,
mess. Do
nobody
something about it.
care. If you're going through something, it better not show on your head. I can tell you
You
that. You
ain't
better
gotta look
get
like
your.
what you're going through.
Oh, okay. And now Philly might tell you, but the a Southerner will get you. Oh, okay. When he said it, I'll never forget. He said, "You look scared. You look like somebody scared you before you came in here. Did somebody scare you? Don't don't talk to me like that.
Right
Y'all
outside the
don't
door.
right outside. Who outside? Who outside?
You
You
want
look
me to go
real
get them?
scared.
They scared you. Let me
I
go
was
get them.
still scared that baby. You stay in here. I was looking, I'm gonna tell you right now, I can laugh about it now. Thank you, Jesus. Because I'm gonna tell you when I was going through it, whoo, Lord. I'm talking about was looking toe up, toe up. And so, but I needed you need to get that grounding. And sometimes you got to hit rock bottom. Sometimes you have
Yeah.
to hit rock bottom. And so just wanting to that those changes that I had to go through, giving up perming my hair and all of that, I'm feeling like a metamorphosis took place. But at the same
Yeah.
time, it was necessary because you don't need to perm like and change the texture of your hair to look and feel a certain way. You should be able to just be who you are naturally and love yourself,
Hmm.
be happy with who you are, and be proud of who you are. And so that's why I want the line to help people to embrace who they are and love who they are very much naturally. Be
Got
who
to.
God made
Got
you.
to. We are in the middle of another good one. I want to pause real quick to tell you about ChevalierLife.com. Chevalier Life is a veteran-owned brand dedicated to cigar enthusiasts who appreciate quality and individuality. From custom full-color humidors that showcase your personal flair to sleek accessories, they've got everything you need to elevate your cigar experience. But it's more than just products. It's a cultural vibe. Whether you're sipping whiskey or enjoying a smooth vibe, Chevalier Life complements your cigar lifestyle. Visit chevalierlife.com today and live your best cigar life. I think rock bottom should be a trampoline. You know,
Lord have
you
mercy.
fall, you
Absolutely.
fall, you fall fast, and you hit it, but you got to bounce
Right.
back up.
Got to bounce back
Now
up.
it's not a well-made trampoline, so the bounce back is going to take some time, but
You
you
might
got to
have
bounce
to
back up.
fix you might have to fix your trampoline.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, please understand that. You might, and that's what I had to do. You might have to fix your trampoline before you can bounce back, but you still, because I learned this, there is no standing still.
yeah. You can't.
You're either regressing, you're either getting left behind, left in the past, falling behind, or you're moving forward.
Right.
That's
That's it.
that's
That's the only two
that's it.
directions.
That is it. And you gotta bounce back. Now you very well may have to put some duct tape on that trampoline because that's what'll get you when
Yeah,
you're like, yo, I'm already going through X, Y, and Z, and here comes ABC is back around the corner. Like,
right.
you know what I'm saying? So you may very well have to repair that trampoline, but you gotta bounce back.
You got to. You got to bounce
Man,
back. You got to bounce back.
it's rough as hell. I ain't go front. It's
Speaking of it being rough
mm-hmm.
and building the brand from the ground up, which is definitely not easy.
Mm-hmm.
What challenges or challenge did you face early on that nearly broke you, and how did you push through?
That nearly broke me. And how did I push through? In the beginning, it was believing that I could do it.
Mm.
When you have lost it all and you gotta and you're trying and now like I had been out of homelessness about 3 years when I got my LLC, right? When I started O'Shea.
Hmm.
And so when you go through something, it will make you hold what you got close to your chest, right? You don't necessarily want to share no whole lot. Like, I don't know if I might fall back.
Right.
Lord, it could happen.
I'm holding on to everything I got.
I pay rent, but any moment they could still come through. I don't know. I don't know what's
Right.
happening. Okay, I just got this little job. I can't afford to mess with one dime on this little job. Okay, this
Right.
job got me off the sofa. Okay, I'm every penny I'm counting. And Lord, I'm tithing. I'm doing everything right with this money. You
Everything.
understand? I ain't messing with nothing, Lord. And see, starting a business is a gamble in the
Yeah.
beginning. If it's grassroots, it's a gamble. And so in the beginning, it's one of those things where I'm like, I already felt like a failure because I
Mm-hmm.
didn't accomplish what my life's work was in my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I'm like, here you are, been to the bottom of hell, and now you out here thinking that you tried to help people. Remember? You failed at that already. How you going now you gonna help people? You in here with a little blender and a bowl. That what you doing? You blending up something? Look
Blending
at
up
you.
some help. You're gonna blend up a little
Mm,
help.
mm. You might have to rub that balm on your future with your crazy ass. You don't know what you doing. You don't know what you doing. Unplug that blender. Your dusty ass. You just got off somebody's sofa. Now you out here blending up some shea butter with some oil. Somebody get some oil and put it on her because she needs a blessing, Lord.
Need a blessing.
Somebody come here and get this child. She in here tell me now she gonna blend something. I don't know. You
Talking
know what
about
I'm
she gonna
saying?
do something, just got up off a couch.
Oh, okay. And do you think people didn't? You think people now they ain't never say it to me, but you know
Oh,
somebody who
whoa.
know no now
Oh,
you know
oh, oh.
people gonna
People
always
talk.
you okay. And so it became one of those things where in my mind, literally, because I'm an only child, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's crucial. I'm an only child. I don't have. I'm single. I don't have a companion. I don't have any children. So this is me by the grace of God, reeling and rocking. I'm in this ship completely solo.
Right.
This is a one man, one woman yacht that I'm on right now. You know what I'm saying? The boat capsized and it was nobody on it but me. And now you have to rebuild and you got a little raft and you trying to rebuild your life. You know what I'm saying?
On
And
a little
so
raft.
I felt very much unworthy. I can't tell nobody what to do with their skin. I failed at everything I lost. I ain't in no position to tell nobody nothing. That I had to get over my own mental. That's
Mm-hmm.
the biggest hell that I went through is getting over my own mental, like my own checks and balances, because we can criticize ourselves into oblivion. And
Right.
so that the biggest thing that I had to overcome was because you didn't achieve this one thing, that does not mean that your life's work is over.
Yeah.
You still know every single thing that you learned in those classes. You still have a history of helping people who were chronically ill. All of these things you still did. You missed one thing. And now you feel like it's over. And I still have to remind myself. So it's a continuous struggle. I'm not going to front. It's a continuous struggle because in the back of my mind, I still want to be a physician.
Mm-hmm.
That passion didn't go away. You know what I'm saying? And so I still have to remind myself, like, yo, you are still in a position where God is using you effectively to do things that are helping people.
Right.
Don't look down on yourself. Don't, because I was the only person in my crew that didn't make it. Everybody else they're practicing now. You know, my
Well,
crew from school.
that shows you. That shows
So,
you.
you know,
God pulled you out and put you where He needed you to be.
right. And so that's that mental fight with myself to say, yo, I can do this. And this is worthy and this is good work. And you can't, yeah, you tried making deodorant 3 different phases and it didn't work. But you're going to be able to make that deodorant formula and it's going to be effective. You know what I'm saying? Just give yourself some time and give yourself some grace. That's
Speaking of
that's it.
the deodorant, let's go through a few of these products.
Let's.
So in this section, I call this section O'Shea Origins. Right.
All right.
So we really just want to go through some of these some of the products, and you can share the motivation that led to the creation of each item, what it is and what it does. If you know.
Mhm.
So let's start with the O'Shea Mutter Natural Body Love.
Yes. So O'Shea Mutter and O'Shea Moyle got their names. Their names are a little different from the others. I'll tell both of these at the same time because Moyle was designed with a little bit more oil than butter, and Mutter was designed with a little bit more butter than oil. And that's where the textures are a little bit different. But
Right.
O'Shea Mutter is the eczema formula
Mm-hmm.
that was created from so many people that I met here in Philadelphia. One of my cousins, was nobody in our family had eczema except for like one cousin. And so watching her battle, watching people here in Philadelphia go through it, and understanding that a lot of the creams that are prescribed for eczema have steroids in them.
Right.
And so a lot of parents don't want to use steroid-based products for their children. And so I came up with O'Shea Mutter by God's grace. And so, yeah, that's the eczema formula.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Do I have Mutter? I don't have it
I
out
don't.
here.
Okay.
I don't
Don't you
have
worry.
it out here.
We're gonna
So I
get you
gotta.
some. Don't you
That mean I
worry.
gotta get. That mean I gotta order some more. All
Now
right.
that one has a little bit more of a earthy scent to it because that's very much like a therapeutic. You know what I'm saying? So
Well, I
that's
like
not
that.
one that.
So what's the difference between? Oh no, wait. We getting to that. So the
Okay.
Mamie's roses. Tell me about the Mamie's roses.
Yes. So all of the O'Shea products, besides the butters, all of the other products have a naming convention that they're named after a family member, right? Now, most of them are named after people who are ancestors, but
Mm-hmm.
Mamie's Roses is the only product that is named after one of my living current relatives. She is one of the oldest cousins that I have in my family. I think she is 85. She's going to be 85 this year.
Wow.
And she is I wanted to create a rose water because I wanted to create something. I like for everything to have multiple uses. I
Mm-hmm.
don't want it to just be for one thing. And that rose water is really good. You can use it like for mosquito bites. You can use it to help with itch relief. People who have eczema use it a lot, right? Because it really does help with quenching itchy skin, rashes, stuff like that. Like especially if you've been outside, you've been in the country, you've got mosquito bites all on your arms. You see your children with them, you can spray a little bit on it, it'll stop that itchy response, right? But you can also use it as a toner. You can use it to help with acne reduction, right?
Listen.
There's
Wait a
multiple
minute. I
uses.
got to stop you right there because I had it. I was spraying it on my face,
Yeah.
and skin was great. When I ran out, bumps here, here, here. I say,
I'm trying to tell
I got to make an order. I got
you.
to make another order. I'm gonna do
Your
that
skin was looking at you
today.
like,
Yeah.
okay, you
Every
know what I'm
time I went,
saying?
it was another pimple saying, "You know why I'm here, right? You ran out of
See,
that Mamie's roses."
and
So,
see, the thing about it is, it helps these when you use natural ingredients, a lot of the same types of ingredients that are in your own skin, it helps to make your skin more resistant when you go out to all of these different triggers. You know what I'm
mhm.
saying? And like the stuff in the atmosphere. And so I definitely wanted us to have something that could be used as like a daily toner, a full body. You can use it on, I know men that use it to like help reduce ingrown hair development and all that type of stuff. So and it was named because I want everything to have an M sound. If you notice, everything starts with an M except for one of our products. Everything starts with the M, with an M. And that is because of this has a kind of science background, but like that Om sound that's associated with peace, it's associated with calm. You know what I'm saying? when you're doing meditation, they say to do Om, that just that channeling, that frequency will help to reduce the stress on the body. And so I wanted the O'Shea and the M. So it's O'Shea Mamie's Roses, O'Shea Mutter, O'Shea Moyle, right? I wanted everything to be an O and an M so that it helps just create that Om effect when you're pronouncing the names. So I had to come up with a name that started with an M, and I wanted it to be a relative. And so I was like, we have one, because I want people to be able to see we have so many family members that do good, they good people, and they don't always get the recognition that they deserve. And I get tired of the only thing you can do is talk good about people at their funeral or when they're gone, right? They highlight every single thing you ever done at your eulogy, right? But I want people to be able to see their name being recognized in this physical realm. And so I was so honored to name the product after her. And she's definitely no nonsense. She was like, oh, okay, well, send it to me because let me see it before you. I was
before you slap my name on it. Let me know.
Okay, because I ain't gonna mess nothing up. She was like, okay, I mean, I appreciate it, but send me a bottle. Let me see that label and send me a bottle of it. Let me try it, and then before I be done hit you with a copyright, don't put my name on no mess. You know how the elders are. When I called her and told her, she was like, oh, okay, all right, well, am I going to get to see it? I was like, you are going to get to see it. I was so hyped. And she was like, okay, well, let me see it first. And then I'm going to get hyped after I see it. I was like, see.
Well, is she hyped now?
See? She's very hyped now. She's very hyped now.
Okay.
When she saw it, she was like, I like this girl. I was like, see, cousin Mamie, I got you. I ain't going to mess nothing up out here. I'm trying to make things, I'm trying to put the family on the map. So I'm very excited that she's excited now. But at first she was like, this girl on the phone says she gonna put my name on something. So
since we mentioned it earlier, let's talk about the Marion natural deodorant.
Yes. That's my girl. My grandmother's name was Marion, like I said earlier, and she was a powerhouse. She was one of the greatest people I've ever known. Definitely one of my biggest inspirations in community involvement. I mean, we had so many things in common. She was the only child. I'm an only child. Our birthdays 3 days apart. We were very much spiritually connected. After my father passed, she helped my mom raise me because we live communally. So we live about 3-4 houses down from my grandparents. And so we would be over there every day. Yeah, we live in a very communal environment because we grew up in that area where my great grandfather was a sharecropper, and many of the other Black men in our area were sharecroppers, and so all of their farms were within, back in that time, horse and buggy, saying, distance to one another, and so it just created a communal environment where it's maybe 3 or 4 different families that all live within a 3 or 4 mile radius. And so my grandmother was a diabetic, and I would watch her some mornings because she was a school bus driver for over 30 years. And she would get up, give herself her needle, make sure everybody in the house had breakfast, get ready to go to work. And then she would go to anybody in our community who was a diabetic who had issues with giving themselves a needle, or if you were an elder and you need to make sure that they got their breakfast, whatever, she would go and do for people before she would get on her bus route to go and she would do these every other day. It was nothing. Her community involvement, and to her it was nothing. It's what you do. Right. She told me, because she was very much, she was badass. You know what I'm saying? Them elders back in that time, first of all, them elder women could all shoot. They could all shoot. Oh, okay.
And wasn't scared to.
Will gladly pull it out on you. Okay. Little 38 in the purse. Because my grandmother kept a rifle in her trunk. Marion kept a rifle in her trunk everywhere she went. So she was very much, and she was married to a man. My grandfather was a World War II veteran. So together they were a powerhouse,
Oh
right?
yeah,
As far
yeah.
as the energy. But she was very much like, she told me, she said, I hear you keep running around talking about you want to be a physician, you want to be a doctor, and that's good. She said, but don't wait until some white folks put a coat on your back before you start doing work that's required for people that
Mm,
you know what I'm saying? If you know you can do it now and prove that you can be a doctor.
right.
Don't wait till you go to some college.
Yeah.
Right here where you from is stuff that needs to be done. Get to it and prove that you can work and help people. And then you know that you got what it takes to go and be a physician. So you know what I'm saying? And so that whole idea of just get the work done and the work will speak for you. You don't have to do no whole lot of talking. Just do the work and the work will show itself. That I get all of that from her and my grandfather. And so yeah, like she had metastatic breast cancer, and understanding how Black women, we're not the number one group to get metastatic breast cancer, that fourth quadrant breast cancer, but we are the number one group to die from it,
Mm,
right? And so I wanted to create a natural deodorant that, number one, worked, that number two would help people to know I don't have to keep using the harsh ingredient products. There is a suitable alternative, right?
right.
And I wanted to put her name on it because we lost her to cancer, and I wanted this to be something that really helped the community in a major way. So I'm very proud that I was able to name it after her, because I definitely think it embodies her spirit.
Yeah. That's an amazing story behind that.
For sure.
This next one, I'm probably gonna butcher the name. Nancy,
M. Nazi.
Nan, Nazi. Okay, I told you I was gonna butcher it. I
Nancy.
don't care.
First of all,
Nazi.
don't feel bad. I done heard so many. Nazi could be a vulgar, it could be a bad word the way people done pronounced it.
Oh,
No,
oh Lord.
but it's all good. It's all good. But no,
Nazi natural hair oil.
so the name Nazi comes from the fact that it is the one of the most prevalent ingredients in it is coconut oil,
Mm-hmm.
and the word mnazi means coconut palm in Swahili.
Oh wow.
It's a Swahili term. And
Wow.
so, yeah, so when I was looking up the ingredients, I was looking at different ways because it had to be an M. It
Mm-hmm.
had to be an M. And so I was like, I don't have, see, those, all the products in the beginning, Moil, Mutter, Mnazi, those I created before I started the naming convention after people, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I still knew that everything had to be an M. And so I was looking online for all of these different words. And then I looked up somehow coconut palm, I think it's like coconut palm leaf or coconut leaf is Mnazi in Swahili. And I was like, yes, this is
Perfect.
it. And so, but yeah, so that's where the naming convention came from.
I like that. I like that. Let me ask one more. Oh, it's gonna be two. So the Mo
Mm.
Butter and the Mo Butter Bakari. So
Yes.
what's the difference? Or
Yes.
what is it and what's the difference? Let's do that.
So I love the Mo Butter series. I love the Mo Butter series because I was listening to Nipsey Hussle. He was talking one time about like how to continue to market and to sell different products. He was talking from an entrepreneurial perspective, and he
Mm-hmm.
was like, "You gotta always remember that." Everything that you sell is going to be like seasonal at some point, right? It's not unless it's something like razors or something, you know what I'm saying, like that are a year-round product. There's always some things are going to have a season where they pop and a season where it may be a down season, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
that's just the way things go. And so one of the things that I started to notice was during the summer months, the moisturizer sales would drop because not as many people use just shea butter during the summer. You don't want to be outside looking like Jermaine Jackson, right? You don't want to be
Like you done
outside.
dip face first in the chicken grease.
Okay. You don't want to be outside looking.
Like you're melting.
Oh, okay. Looking like you're melting. Looking like you're a wax figure. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? We're not having it. We're not having it during the summer months. And so what I started to notice was during the summer months, the sales would drop. And so, because a lot of times people don't fully understand how to use shea butter, right? We
Hmm.
always apply it when our skin is dry, and you're supposed to apply it while your skin is damp because it has more of a sealing property. So if your skin is dry, it's going to seal it dry. It's going to
Yeah.
sit on your skin a little bit longer, and it's going to take longer to absorb and you know what I'm saying, look the way it's supposed to look. But so I was like, you know what? We need a solution for a summer, a spring, a warmer month moisturizer,
Hmm.
something that is not going to be, not that the oil is heavy, but that shea butter, you know what I'm saying, when it's just butter and oil, and it's butters that are going to be a little bit thicker, right?
Right.
If they have a tendency to sit on your skin a little bit longer. And so I wanted to create something that could be a spring and summer moisturizer. Number one, that doesn't melt as much in transit, because the post office is a fair game, is a highway to hell sometimes.
The post office is the post office.
Woo,
They don't
woo.
care who you are or what it is. They're gonna get it there when they won't get it there.
They
So
can kick your package from the 50-yard line and make a field goal with your package to the doorstep. You know what I'm saying? I have gotten clients that have sent me pictures like, look at my jar when I took it out of the box, cracked. Like, I'm like, what happens in transit? But either way, so sometimes, you know what I'm saying? The product may melt some or whatever when it's just the shea butter. But the Mo Butter series, so I wanted to incorporate stuff like cocoa butter because that has a higher melting point and it's a lighter consistency. When you apply cocoa butter to your skin, it absorbs much quicker than when
mhm.
you apply shea butter. And so I wanted to create something that, number one, was a little bit of a lighter texture, right? I wanted something different from all, because there are 50, 11 people out here selling shea butter, right?
Right.
So you need some products that are going to differentiate you from the rest, right? And so I created Mo Butter, number one, to be that spring and summer moisturizer. And then the Bakuri series came about from wanting to make something that was really strictly about blemish reduction,
Mm.
right? Because one thing that we all can attest to is when you have a lot of cuts. I see people sometimes with like cuts and burns and, you know what I'm saying, like discolorations on their skin. And many times it can make people feel self-conscious. And so I wanted to have something that really targeted helping with discoloration. And Bakuri butter is a very good little known butter. It's very, very dark chocolate in its appearance. That's what
Hmm.
makes the formula brown. But it's really, really good to help with blemish reduction naturally, not needing to use like skin bleach or any of these awful products like on your skin. You can use something all natural that will help with blemish reduction. And
Hmm.
so that's where that line came about. Was it's Mo Butter. It's got three T's in the name because it has butters from three continents: South America, from Asia, and from Africa. And so
Wow.
I wanted it to be a product that really was good for that. Like, you can use it year round, but it's just that anti to the standard shea butter, that's soft, supple texture. It has more of a balm style consistency,
Right.
and it doesn't melt as much. Yeah.
Right. I'm definitely got to make me another. I'm gonna make an order today. I'm definitely. Matter of fact, I think my cart is full already.
You know
Uh,
what I'm saying?
I'm gonna make that order today because I
My
ran out.
brother.
I was like, man, I know good and well.
Listen,
These
because
things ain't pop up
let me
a
tell you,
couple days later. Man,
I
so
can't. It's all
it's
good.
like you're not just selling products. You're selling an experience. You're selling an entire way of life. You know, when it
Absolutely.
comes to skincare and healing your
Absolutely.
skin and healing yourself from the outside in. What's the feeling that you want people to walk away with after using Touch of O'Shea?
That is such a great question. So there's three tenets that I try to make sure that are covered with everything that we put out, and that's quality, craftsmanship, and consideration,
Mm-hmm.
right? So quality is in the quality of the products, I try to use the best products that I can from around the world. The craftsmanship is the way that the products are made. I try to use minimal processing so you get as much of the nutrient power in everything that I make. And then the consideration is the consideration for the customer, your experience, what you go through on a daily basis. The stresses of this life can be very much overwhelming. I want every time you use an O'Shea product, I want you to feel loved. I want you to feel seen. And I want those products to make you feel secure and make you feel more confident. That's what I want.
Right.
I want when you walk outside and you've put your moisturizer on, you got your, you know what I'm saying, your rose water on. I want you to feel confident. I want you to hold your head up, walk with confidence, walk with distinction, because not only are you out here making moves, but not only are you investing in this world. See, we go out here every day and we have to work on jobs that help, not that they don't put money in our pocket, but we help, you know what I'm saying, in larger causes in a great deal
Mm-hmm.
every day. But Michelle Obama said we have to do a better job of prioritizing ourselves, right? And when you make the investment to use O'Shea products, I want you to feel confident in the fact that you're making an investment in your wellness, in your
Mm-hmm.
appearance. And so that feeling of security and that feeling of confidence is what I want people to walk away from every time they use O'Shea products. It's confidence and security. Those are the two main things. And feel loved. And feel loved. I want you to feel that you're not just shopping with a brand that's just giving you that run of the mill experience,
Right.
right? I want you to know that I am. I mean, that right now I'm the person doing production. Now it won't always be me. By God's grace, the brand will grow to the point where you know what I'm saying.
Oh yeah. You're
You,
gonna have a social media person. You're gonna
come
have
on
a
now.
but I
You know what
mean,
I'm saying.
look, you're doing a good job.
I'm gonna tell you right now, it's a lot. I do have an assistant. It's not just me. I will say I do have an assistant, and I'm so glad that I do have somebody that helps me. You know what I'm saying? Because you, like I said before, you can't do it all. You realize, because I have a Canva account, and I would be in Canva 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Canva looking at me, and I'm looking back at Canva. Like, give me something, Canva. Lord, I'm in here with just the logo still on the page. You know what I'm saying? So you realize that, like, you have got to get people around you that can help you to make your brand better. You know what I'm saying? And I had to do those things, yo. I had to because, in the beginning, I was selling the products for very low costs.
Mm-hmm.
I was not even breaking even. I was taking a loss. And my accountant told me, he was like, listen, you got to make up in your mind, is this going to be a brand about quality? Because if it is, you have got to price your products correctly. You have to give people the quality experience. People buy with their eyes first, right?
Yeah.
So, like in the beginning, I didn't have oil and waterproof labels. I was putting clear tape over the labels because I didn't have the money yet for oil and waterproof labels. And my accountant was like, you don't have those things because you're pricing your products too low, thinking that if you price your products low enough, people will just start buying them. And that's not what happened.
Mm-mm.
When people started buying more when I priced the products higher. People want to invest in quality. They want to feel like they're getting a quality
Yeah.
experience,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
And so I want people to have that quality experience every time they use my products. I want you to feel secure and confident. That's definitely it.
I like that. I like that. And the way that I mean, your brand encompasses quality from the every package, every bottle, jar, and even your social media account. Like
Thank you, brother.
the
Thank you.
posts that you started doing where you're educating people on
Yeah.
on the products. I also see that you have Touch of O'Shea Academy.
Yes.
So
Yes.
so it seems like education is an integral part to your brand.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because I want my consumer base to be able to make more educated decisions outside of O'Shea. right? I'm
Right.
not just building a brand. By God's grace, I'm building a community of people who use my products. When you buy my products, you are buying, and you are now a part of a community, right? Dr. Claude Anderson talked about the fact that there's a difference between neighborhoods and communities. Communities are where we are all like-minded in our approach to things. And that's what I
Common
want.
unity.
A common unity, right? And I want you to be able to make better informed decisions outside of O'Shea. So I was so glad to get a website. My first website was not Shopify. I didn't rebrand and get that Shopify page where I could add things easily, like blog posts and all of that. Wasn't until we rebranded in 2023. But that was one of the main things that I wanted when I rebranded, was that O'Shea Academy, because I want brothers, number one, to use the products, but I want you to feel confident to go in there and find out more information about beard care and the difference between beard hair and the hair on your scalp. There is a difference in the hair. There's a difference in the texture, right? You can typically see that your beard hairs are much bigger. They're more coarse than the hair typically that grows on your head, right? And so
Yeah.
I want men to be able to make better informed decisions. When you have to buy something out here, you should know a little bit more. You can speak to things, right? You want to know a
Yeah.
couple
Now I
good
know a little
words.
something. I know a little
You know what I'm
something now.
saying? You can't just pull the wool over my eyes, because I've
Yeah.
been reading
Yeah.
a few articles about X, Y, and Z. So
Oh,
that's, yeah,
you
that,
got beard care? Let me see what's in there.
you know what I'm
No, no,
saying?
no, no. Touch of O'Shea Academy say that don't work.
Come on, right? I want us to understand, like, certain things about, like, your skin care. A lot of people don't know that your skin weighs about 10 to 15 pounds of your body weight, right? A lot of people don't understand that there are three major layers to your skin. And no, it may not be something that you need to use every day, but when you further understand how complex your skin really is, it should make you want to take care of it better.
Right.
When you
It
understand how
definitely.
complex it is, it should make you want to be better to it. So,
Most definitely. How has being a business owner changed you on a personal level?
whoo, Lord, mm, customer service has
Oh,
has humbled me, my Lord. Great God, Lord, oh God. Mm-mm. See, that's why I had to get an assistant. See, a lot of times she be answering the customer service emails. Because let me tell you, no, baby. Woo! Now you're getting into the thick of it. Now you're getting
oh,
into the
oh
thick of
yeah.
it.
Oh yeah. See, I used to start this section off talking. I used to start this section off and say, now we're getting into the work. This is the meat of it.
Right.
But I decided what I'm gonna do. I decided, no, I'm gonna just throw these questions at you. I'm gonna just
Yeah. Let me
balls in
tell
your
you.
court. Balls in your
Woo!
court now.
Let me tell you something. Being a brand owner, first of all, it's changed me in some great ways. Some great ways. It's definitely helped improve my own confidence. Not even gonna front. It's helped make me a more confident person.
Hmm.
But it has also taught me so. Ray, I'm a Scorpio through and through. Okay. And I don't like to put it all on the zodiac. I ain't one of them people. But
Right,
at the
right,
same
right.
time, there's certain elements that are true. There are certain elements that are true. Okay. Now I am most certainly a Scorpio. And so, like, I don't mind. I if you wrong me, you get one time to wrong me, and okay, well, it's been a real pleasure. Not okay, and so you're out of here. You know what I'm saying? I
Right.
don't mind clearing house, except for my mama. Anybody can go. I'm not gonna front, like, if you wrong me, because I know that I'm a good person. I know I'm a loyal person, and
Hmm.
so if you take my friendship for granted, my friends know, we talk about it often. They're like, Tay, you can't just be cutting people up. Who can? What? Make a decision. Make a decision. You're either with
Snip,
me or you're
snip.
not. Okay. And
Go
so,
on, get off the bus. Go on, get off the
oh,
bus. We
this is
driving.
your stop. You thought, what you
No,
thought?
no, no,
Okay,
no, no, no,
no.
no. This your
Mm-mm.
stop. This your stop.
This is your stop. And it's
Hmm.
no aggression with it. That's it's no aggression with it. It's just, okay. So that's how, all right. We don't have to do no more talking. This is
Right.
your stop. Right. And so the first time, I'll give you an example. The very first time that I got a negative review on my page, on my Etsy, because I started out from the very beginning on Etsy because I didn't have, it's free to get an
Mm-hmm.
Etsy account. And so I had somebody give me a 1-star review, and there some of the things that she said in the review were untrue, right?
Mm.
And so immediately I was like, okay. So I got on the phone with Etsy and asked, how can I block this person from never being able to shop with my brand again? Like, I was ready. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want this person to ever be able to even see my business page again. Like,
Yeah.
because this person is they lied in the review, whatever. But my homegirl hit me up. My homegirl talked to me, and she's my lawyer. She's a person who gives me business legal advice. And she told me, she was like, yo, you trying to get this thing to to the millions? And I was like, yeah. She was like, do you think that $1 million brands concern themselves with one, like you have 100 5-star reviews and now you got one negative review? But she lied. Okay, she might have lied. Maybe she did. But now what are you going to do? Are you going to stay stuck in this? Because if you're trying to get to like the Walmart level, you're trying to be not on the shelf, but ownership wise, if you're trying to
Mm-hmm.
be at that multi-million-dollar level, you cannot. You know how many times Walmart's gotten a 1-star review? You think Walmart's out here stopping every customer that gives them a bad review from shopping with them? And they're like, I got to make sure that I get as petty as I can with this one customer who get like,
Right.
you got to remember, you have 100 people who gave you 5-star reviews. They need you to be focused on the best service possible. You got this 1-star review, reply to that person, try to fix it. If it's not fixable, you have to keep going. But you cannot you can't let the way that you act personally also be the way that you act in business. That's two completely different things.
Hmm.
You cut people off every day in life. You can't cut people off in business like that.
Right. Right.
Right? That's not how business is run, and that's not how you're going to scale this thing to the next level. And I was like,
Well, if you got a bunch of
seething.
5-star reviews, people who read reviews, when they see a line of even 4 and 5 star or all five
Right.
star reviews, when that 1-star review pops up, it's going to stick out like a sore thumb, and they're going to be like, you did something wrong
You know what I'm
anyway.
saying? And
You know.
so it just become it was a very it was a learning lesson for me, because it was the first time that I really had to say, yo, you can't bring personal into
Into business.
business.
Yeah.
You have to run your business. In life, you can say, oh, I'm going through something, y'all. I'm going through something. In business,
You ain't
no.
going through nothing. You
You ain't
better
going through nothing.
you better
You
do what you got to do.
what don't nobody, you will lose customers with that
Mm-hmm.
complaining, putting all you too personal. And it's not, now if you personal, I'm showing production, I'm showing packaging orders, okay, but you on here crying the blues and rolling around on the floor crying and going, no, people, you can't show that side of your business is business. And so I had to learn that, you know what I'm saying? That was one of those moments where I was like, but I don't like, because it's my baby. This is, I
Of
built this thing
course.
from an idea. I don't want nobody. And she was like, I completely understand that.
Of course. Of
But now
course.
you don't need a customer going to the Better Business Bureau talking about oh, okay, been rude to her, because this thing can spiral. You better get it together. And you know what I'm saying? Figure out, reach out, do your customer service the way you know that how your business is going to do it. If she does not, you know what I'm saying? If she's still unwavering, she still sticks to how she feels about it, move on. You have a business to run and millions to get to. And this customer, if they're not going to shop with you, everybody ain't going to be your customer. Everybody is not
Mhm.
going to be your customer. Go and find who your customer is and leave these folks that are petty Leave them where they petty at.
Yeah, just let them go and be petty to themselves because they're probably going around leaving 1-star reviews on everything just to do it.
Come on now.
Whether they bought or not, they might
Whether
just.
they bought or not. You know what I'm saying? And you can really make things difficult for a business owner with that. But at the
Mhm.
same time, you know what I'm saying? She was like, and yes, they can make it worse and worse. Absolutely. But you have a great product. Remember where you're at. Remember what the goal is. Don't get stuck right here. Keep going. And so
Most
that,
definitely, most definitely.
man, it's rough though. It's rough when you,
Oh, I can
man.
imagine. I can imagine.
So yeah. Yep.
I remember when way back, way back when I was trying to be a rapper and I had put music on YouTube. I had a guy comment. The only comment on the song, I got a few likes on the song, but the only comment was you not, and it was the song that I had written for my dad
Mm-hmm.
after he passed, right? And he said, "You're not representing the city right." And in the mind space, I was about to reply. I didn't reply, but at the time, I just took everything down. I wiped the YouTube page clean,
Yep.
and then 20 years later, people hear the music and like, "Oh man, this is amazing. This is great." And I'm like,
See,
"Well, where was y'all 20 years ago when I who knows? I be touring right now, but
where was y'all at? Okay, yeah.
20 years ago,
Trust
okay.
me.
Y'all should have been there 20 years. But whatever. But I understand exactly what you're saying. You can't let those people get to you. You can't let that one comment, or if it's 20 comments, you can't
Right,
let them get to you. Keep the vision in mind and understand for each one of those, there are 1,000 good ones.
right,
You know,
right.
so it's not
It's
important. It's not important.
yeah. It's a building. It's a building moment. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's a character building moment in business because you haven't experienced that yet in business. You know what I'm saying? When
Yeah.
I've been the person who's left a review about a brand, but I've never been that person who has gotten a review of what I do.
Right.
And so when the 5 stars were all coming through, I'm like, oh, thank you, Jesus. People are like, you know what I'm saying? It's all
Mm-hmm.
good. But when I saw that one, I was like, it was like the Law and Order music. I heard the dun dun.
Dun,
Like in
dun.
my mind, I was like,
The record scratch,
that's a
everything stopped, the music stopped.
refresh the
Focus
page.
on this.
That must be stuck. The other four must be stuck because I know that that's not a 1 star lit up. Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah, it's very much a moment where you learn a little bit more about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
When you start going through like that some of those moments in business, they're definitely what help shape you, and they help shape how you're going to move further, right? Because that's how you develop your standard operating procedures, right?
Right.
What is going to be the standard? That's how I decided to come up with a money back guarantee, right? Because how am I going to handle this? And in that instance, I pray, thank God, I didn't take the emotional route, right? I did not take the emotional route that I wanted to take, but I sent a very professional, because thank you, Lord, I know my words. I sent
Yeah.
a nice
Yeah.
professional response. I refunded her money because see, now that you've given me a 1 star, now you're gonna get your money back because now you gotta go. Right. Like, and I can't do what I want to do, but I'm gonna still do what I can do. So you're
Right.
going to get your money back. And I sent her a very professional response. I explained based on what she had said, I explained why the products were how they were. And she actually responded to me and said, wow, this is not the response that I was expecting. She said, and I now have a stronger appreciation for supporting businesses and not flying off and just giving the review based on the first thing that pops into my mind. And I want to apologize. And she changed that 1 star review.
Wow.
I'm not even going to front. That's how it happened. Now, if I had done what I originally wanted to do, that would not have happened. It would have, that
It
one
would
star
not.
would have, she would have tried to make it a 0 star
Uh-huh.
if I had done what I
Or went
wanted to
in
do
and
at
added more
first.
stuff. You won't believe what she said to me.
Update. It would have been the Kermit fingers. She would have
Yeah.
been,
And then
yeah.
copy and pasted exactly what you put there.
And I would have been somewhere like, I said it. I did say it. I didn't mean to say it, but I
Yeah.
said it. That's how I would have been.
How can I fix this? Etsy, can we take all that down?
Then I would have been back on the phone with my lawyer, like, listen, I need you to help me. Because now we don't win another way. I shouldn't have did it, but I did it.
What if, so hypothetically, if this
Right,
happened,
right. So what if?
what would you tell? See, I got a
So
friend who got a business and this happened. What
yo,
should I tell them?
I promise you. I promise you. And when that happened, I'm telling you, it was very much because and it helped me to formulate at that very moment, like, yo, how is my business going to handle these types of situations going forward? Right? Everything has a teachable moment, everything is designed to help make this business better. And so yeah, so it was very much one of those,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's being in business, boy, it whew,
Business of
yeah.
business be businessing.
Oh, okay. It show do. Show do.
Where is Touch of O'Shea going next? Any new directions, expansions, or
Ooh,
dreams on the horizon? That
man.
can you talk about anything that you're working on?
Right, right.
Let
Okay.
me change.
Okay.
Let me change it.
Because now we can't tell it all. No, I'm just
Right,
playing.
right, right, right. We can't give everything away. Something got to be
Right.
a surprise.
You know what I'm saying? But like what I want for the brand, I want to get to that level where I'm on store shelves. I want that store shelf presence, right? In the next 3 to 5, I would like that store shelf presence. But at the same time, I say that I want that, but then again, I don't know, right? Because I like that boutique style approach. I do,
Mm-hmm.
right? I like that boutique style approach. I like being able to put the products in smaller entities. Like there's a barbershop in Philly that has shout out to Max Level Barbershop in Philadelphia. The owner uses my products, and so he was like, "We got a little shelf space in here. You can put some of the products in here for brothers to be able to get stuff when they come in to get their haircut." So I like that type of approach because it gives me that community vibe.
Yeah.
But the the future for Touch of O'Shea, I definitely want to expand, right? For the first like 5 or 6 years that I was in business, I did not know how to market.
Mm-hmm.
All I knew is I'm a scientist and I just make these products. Like I put stuff up on, I didn't know how to run no social media, how to put together like the right way to put together like the header for your brand, like the profile and all of that.
Yeah.
I didn't know any of that stuff until like about 3 years ago. I was still handwriting my address labels, right? Like my business did not grow the way that people thought it was. Like I wasn't getting as many sales as I really needed to grow, but that's because I didn't know how to market effectively.
Mm-hmm.
And so now for the next phase of O'Shea, I just want to grow the presence, right? I want more people to see the brand. I want more people to start using the products. I want to expand the reach and the familiarity with people across America, definitely across America. And I want to grow. I want to also have an international presence, right? I
Mm.
want to be able. I currently I can sell internationally through Etsy, but my website is not set up just yet beyond Canada,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I want to be able to expand to people being able to purchase the products internationally. And I also want to I really want to. I don't necessarily, I have a couple additional products, a couple more products that I want to add to the product suite within the next couple years, but I don't want to go too far with expanding any more products, right? I want to be the best instead of being mediocre at at a bunch of things. I want to be the best at these things,
Right.
right? And so I don't necessarily want to expand as far as adding a lot more products, but I want to gain more community awareness, and I want more people to be able to say, that line is like the Chick-fil-A customer service. The way that people always speak about Chick-fil-A's customer service
Yeah.
is the way that I want people to feel when they use O'Shea products, right? And
Right.
when the brand is mentioned, I want it to automatically be synonymous with quality, right?
Right.
Even no matter where you are, like as far as your money, your status, I don't care where you are in life. I want you to know that there's a quality product out here that is available to you. And so I really just want to continue to nail down that marketing. Now
Right.
that I
Right.
better understand how to do it, I want to be able to get the reach out there, because it's like finally the rebranding really introduced. I would thank God I was able to get a grant from FedEx, and that grant allowed me to be able to do like updating the website and updating the labeling and all of these things. So I want to, now that I've done all of the updating, I've taken a couple years. We got the blogs, the O'Shea Academy going. We got all these new aspects going. Now I want to just get that marketing expanded to a global network. And so, yeah, that's really where, as much as that sounds like it sounds kind of small, it's really not, because that marketing, you don't even fully appreciate
Yeah.
marketing until you start a business. Like, marketing is everything, whether it's social media, whether it's wearing your t-shirt, your logo. It's how you, as the brand owner, what ways do you market, right? Do you go and vendor? Do I go to all these tattoo conventions to sell the tattoo care, or do I just market to the tattoo community? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Come on. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
See,
That's all I'm
I
saying.
got them all up.
Come on, you know what I'm saying, my brother. So just understanding what different ways, because I last year I tried to throw a lot of money out there at going city to city, city to city, and I lost a grip of money. 24, I took so many L's as far as things that I tried. Man, I took some L's, but it was all in the name of learning. What I was trying to put the cart before the horse. You're trying to
Right.
go all these places and show up and do all of this. Don't nobody know you. Don't nobody know your ass, girl. I was everywhere.
You
Like, hey,
showing up.
y'all, Touch of O'Shea
Touch
is
of
the
O'Shea
way.
is
Cass was
here,
like,
and they.
who in the hell is she? Don't nobody know you.
What?
You better get back to the airport with your traveling ass. You ain't nobody know you yet. You gonna put your car 10 miles ahead of the horse.
Heck,
Girl, get,
you ain't even got a horse, but you got a cart.
you ain't even got a horse. Okay. You borrowed somebody else's horse and then sat on it. You not here, girl, get your ass back to that airport. I was coming back to Philly, like, Philly, take me back. I've been out there and they done fucked me up, Philly. Oh God. No, 24? Woo, baby. Oh, I was showing up in every city, and Cats was like, what she said she do? I don't know her. I don't know her. So, you know what I'm saying? So you have to understand. And I thought, like, I'm marketing. I'm going to get out here and I'm going to go. No, you have to learn the right way to market, the right way to promote your brand, right? So now I took a step back, put that passport back in the I put that passport back in there with the important documents, and
Yeah, yeah,
I'm gonna stay local and market better. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna stay in the house. I'm gonna stay in the house and figure out how to run these ads. And
right,
so
right,
now,
right.
I'm trying to learn different other ways of marketing that will help promote the brand first. Then you can go city to city once you build that community a little bit more. So,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So those, that's really where I am as far as what the vision is for like this year and for the future of the brand, is to really get the name out there more and get the association with what we do to increase that. That's where I'm at.
That's great. That's great. This the last question. This the last question.
Is it okay?
Maybe.
Okay.
How do you envision your legacy? Not just for the brand, but for
Oh
yourself
man.
as a woman, a creator, an entrepreneur, all of those.
Oh, Ray, dear God. I don't even know. And you know, that's a very it's a great question because this is not what I was expecting. Like I was because I'm an only child, I wanted to be married. I had that the classic, the 90s. We all had that classic vision. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah.
gonna go to college, I'm gonna be married by 25, 2.5 kids and a dog by 30. You know what I'm saying? Like,
White picket fence, two stories
oh,
with the
okay.
big
Okay.
wraparound porch, all that.
He gonna cut the grass while I work in the flower mound. You know what I'm saying? Like I had
You
the
want some
whole idea.
lemonade? Thanks for the
Oh, okay.
lemonade.
The sun tea is on the porch sunning,
Right.
baby, while you finish cutting the grass. Come
Right.
on and wash your hands so you can eat. Y'all kids sit down. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
had the perfect plan in my head, and none of that happened the way that I thought that it was going to happen, right? And so now I'm going to be honest. I'm to a certain degree, it's almost terrifying in some regards. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like
Mm.
I do want to make sure that I can leave a legacy. I want to plant trees that the next generation will be shaded by. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
I might not see the shade of some of the trees that you create, but you still know that these things have to be in place. And so I am hoping to be able to pass my legacy down to, you know what I'm saying, like to future generations. But I want whatever it is, I want it to be one where, by the grace of God, number one, by the grace of God, it is something that was built out of love and out of commitment to just being sincere, right? No fluff. I ain't out here frauding. I ain't out here trying to be something that I'm not. I am just trying to use every single aspect that God gave me to help make my community and those around me better. And
Mhm.
that's the legacy that I ultimately want. You know what I'm saying? At this point, if I'm not gonna have the husband and the kids and all of that, which is not saying that it won't come, but like, you know what I'm saying? But like the and now I'm in my 40s. And so, so I see things a lot differently now.
Right.
And
Right.
so I definitely want I definitely want to leave a legacy of love and of commitment, of resiliency. I want this brand to demonstrate like, yeah, you can come back from whatever you go through. You can be at rock bottom and you can make it. You can still, first of all, you still have purpose. You still have meaning. Even when you feel that you're at rock bottom, your rock bottom would still be a day in paradise for somebody else.
Right.
Right. So don't, no matter where you find yourself, don't let that darkness, that dark mental place overtake you. Right. I want whatever legacy I leave to be one that demonstrates you can make it back from no matter where you find yourself, you still have purpose and you still have the opportunity to fix it, to be better, to change courses, change directions, and still be on top in whatever area you find yourself, right?
Right.
So that's kind of, I think that's the legacy that I would like to leave. Whether I get the spouse and the, you know what I'm saying, the family aspect or not, my legacy, I want to be one that demonstrates stick to what it is that you know in your spirit to be true for you, right? I want to help people regardless of where I'm helping people. The goal is to help people, right? And so just wanting that spirit of conviction, be about something, stand up. I was raised by people who were like, listen, if it ain't in you, it ain't what's on you, it's what's in you,
Right.
right? You got to have character out here. You got to be about something. Get up and get your day going and be about something. If you don't do no
Definitely.
more, you know what I'm saying? But don't let wherever you find yourself right now define, just be your story. Because that's not it at all.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. So I think that that's I think that that's the legacy that I want to leave, and hopefully, you know what I'm saying. All my possessions won't end up just getting ransacked. Somebody I don't even rock with gonna be like, she would want me to have this. I'm gonna be,
She would want me to have that blender
right.
right there.
She lying. I'm gonna be in heaven like, Lord, it ain't fair. Get it off the heads. Get it off the heads right now. They going through my clothes. Oh Lord.
Let me go.
You know
Let
what
me
I'm
just let me
saying?
go down one time. One
Just let me
time. Just let me
just
go
give
down
me
just once. Just
just
one. No.
give me 5 minutes. Just give me 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Oh God. Well, yeah, just that's I think that's the legacy. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the legacy that I want to leave. Just don't ever stop. Don't ever let it consume you. Because it almost consumed me. I'm not gonna front. It almost consumed me a couple times. It was 50-50. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But thank God there was just a pinhole of light. I mean, a pinhole is all you need to be able to see. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like
Right.
when the Bible says it only takes a mustard seed of faith, a mustard seed is tiny,
Tiny.
right? So if all you need is a teensy bit of light to stop you from, you know what I'm saying, to remind you that it's not. Don't let this. Don't be resilient. Be resilient. Don't give up on yourself, and don't give up on what it is that you know to be sincere and true in your own heart.
And that's a wrap on another rich conversation here at the Herfador Lounge. Huge thanks to Octavia for pulling back the curtain and showing us that skincare isn't just about products on the shelf, it's about intention, healing, and honoring who we are inside and out. From science to soul, Touch of O'Shea is a brand with real roots and even deeper purpose. If this episode spoke to you, take a moment, share it with someone who needs that extra reminder to take care of themselves and their story. And make sure you show some love and visit touchofosheanaturals.com and follow Touch of O'Shea on Instagram. Support the mission and support the movement. And while you're at it, don't forget to like and subscribe to the Herfador Lounge and drop a comment with your favorite moment from the episode. And visit theherfadorlounge.com for more ways to support the channel. Until next time, stay lit, stay inspired, and keep building.